A day hike up Cotopaxi volcano. This is one of the highest volcanoes in the world. It sits at 5,897 metres, but that's for serious mountaineers. So today, the hike is going to go to just over 5,000 metres. The day starts with a pickup in central Quito before we take a 90-minute bus ride to the first stop. This is where we have a bit of a coffee break and breakfast. You also get to feed these beautiful alpacas. After fueling up, you jump back into the van and you go for about 30 minutes to the first stop. This is where if you want to take a horse up the mountain, you can. Or like most of us, we actually went a little bit further to the base where we actually start the first trek. The altitude when you start the trek is about 3,800 metres and the wind is intense. You really can't hear anything. I had a lot of trouble with my phone. It was freezing cold and the wind was so strong.
The wind is so strong. I can barely look up. I'm just looking straight down. There's little rocks just flying at my face.
The first part of this hike is about 200 metres straight up, and this is where you actually hike up to base camp or the refuge. The terrain is pretty rough under your feet, but the hardest thing is honestly the wind. It is so strong and little rocks are being flown straight into your face.
This wind is intense.
The walk itself is moderate at this point, but honestly the hardest part is the wind. I only weigh 50 kilos, so for me especially, I had to stop a lot and brace myself because the wind was pushing me to the side. But once you get to the top and you're at base camp, gosh, it feels good. 4,864 metres high. If you're only staying at base camp, then you'll have a chance to go into the refuge, grab a hot coca tea or a hot chocolate. I did not have that luxury. I was going for the rest of the hike, which was up to 5,000 metres, and I had to go straight away. It's really important to go while your body is warm and not let your body cool down when you're hiking at altitude. The 200 metre hike above base camp is actually way harder than I expected it to be. The terrain gets really icy, really slippery. The rocks are slipping from underneath your feet. Absolutely recommend hiking poles. Without them, it's really, really tricky. I hiked with one guy who didn't have hiking poles. He had to turn around and go back down. At this point, it was only me and one guy from Bosnia who were left on the trip. The rest of our tour, out of 14 people, had turned around and gone back down. Thankfully, this guy actually was a pretty serious mountaineer, so I was just following his stride and he taught me a lot about how to hike in the snow.
We've reached just over 5,000 metres. The last bit was super tough because it's icy, lots of snow, the footings are really uneven. I'm not going to lie, the wind was pushing me down. It was really hard and a little bit scary because I slipped so many times. But now, I mean, this site is just beautiful up here. It really is. Let's move this along. It's just incredible.
Now, when you get to the top here, you think that you've done the hard part, but believe me, you haven't. Going down is so much harder. The ice is so slippery. You're walking really slow and you have to really dig your heels in as you walk down in the snow so that you don't fall. And hiking poles absolutely are a must to get down. But once you get down, you get to jump on a bike and you can just cruise all the way back down until you get to a really beautiful lake and you can just take in the views and enjoy the trek that you've had. But once you get down, you've got the excitement of jumping on a bike and you can ride around the outside of one of the biggest volcanoes. This was actually so relaxing, and when you get to the end of the ride, you've got a beautiful lake and a beautiful view that you can enjoy before it's time to get back in the bus and head for your trip back to Quito.